One eye, two eyes, three eyes. There was a mother who had 3 daughters. One was named One Eye. She only had one eye in the center of her forehead. The second child was named Two Eyes because she had 2 eyes. The youngest was named Three Eyes because she had 3 eyes. Two Eyes looked normal, like everyone else, and this made her mother and sisters mad. They didn't like it that she was the normal one, and because they didn't like her, they told her that she was no better than anyone else, so she didn't belong to the family. They always pushed Two Eyes around. She never got new clothes, only the old clothes from her sisters. Two Eyes never ate a meal with the other sisters or her mother. Instead, Two Eyes only got scraps of food after the meal was over. Two Eyes' sister and mother did everything they could to make her life miserable. Two Eyes also had to do most of the chores. One of these was to take the goats out into the field. She was always hungry when she went out into the field, and one day it was just too much. She fell to the ground and began to cry. When she looked up, she saw a woman standing next to her. The woman asked Two Eyes why she was crying, and Two Eyes told her that it was because she had 2 eyes. Her mother and sisters hated her and treated her very bad. She told the woman that her sister only fed her scraps and that they pushed her around and that they would only give her their old clothes. Then she told the woman that she was starving for food. The woman listened to all this and told Two Eyes to dry her tears and that she had a solution for Two Eyes, that the solution would keep Two Eyes from ever being hungry again. The woman told Two Eyes to tell the goat, "Little goat, if you are able, pray deck out my table. Then a table will appear filled with the best of foods." The woman told Two Eyes that she could eat as much as she liked, but when she was finished with the food, make sure to tell the goat, "Little goat, when you are able, remove my nice table." Then the table will disappear. After telling Two Eyes all of this, the woman turned and walked away. Two Eyes was very hungry at the time, so as soon as the woman left, she told the goat, "Little goat, when you are able, pray deck out my table." After the words left her mouth, a beautiful table appeared filled with the most appetizing of food, all as if freshly cooked and still hot. She took a moment to thank God and then began to eat. She tasted and ate everything, and when she was done, she turned to the goat and told it, "Little goat, when you are able, remove my nice table." In the next moment, the table and all its contents disappeared. Two Eyes then went home because it had gotten quite late. When she arrived outside the door, there was an old dirty plate with a few scraps on it for her to eat. Two Eyes, being full, left the scraps alone. She didn't want to touch them after her nice meal. The next morning, she woke up and went to visit her goat, leaving behind the breakfast scraps her family left for her. At first, her family didn't notice. Later, however, they began to notice that Two Eyes was not eating the scraps. They thought that there must be something funny going on, that Two Eyes was obviously getting her food from somewhere, and they wanted to know where. The next day, Two Eyes went to go take care of the goat. Her sister, One Eye, told her that she would be joining her. Two Eyes knew that her sister One Eye was trying to spy on her to figure out where she was getting her food from. Two Eyes took One Eye on a long walk until they were far from their house. One Eye, not used to walking so much, was very tired. That's when Two Eyes turned to One Eye and told her to sit, and that Two Eyes would sing to her. Two Eyes sang for a bit, and One Eye fell deep asleep in the hot sun. Once Two Eyes saw that One Eye was safely asleep, she went to her goat and told it, "Little goat, when you are able, come and deck my table." Just like before, the table full of the best foods appeared, and Two Eyes ate until she was full. When she was done, she told the goat, "Little goat, when you are able, Come and clear away my table." And all of a sudden the table was gone, with no evidence that it had been there at all. Two Eyes then went to go wake up One Eye, and told her that it was time to go home. After they got home, One Eye and her family ate dinner, again without Two Eyes. Again they gave her the scraps to Two Eyes, and again Two Eyes didn't eat them. The family wondered why Two Eyes wasn't eating her scraps, so they turned to ask One Eye if Two Eyes had been eating in the field. One Eye said that she didn't know, because while they were out there, One Eye fell asleep. The next day, the mother, who was wondering where Two Eyes was eating, sent Three Eyes to go out with her into the field. Two Eyes and Three Eyes went out into the field to take care of their goats, and again Two Eyes knew that Three Eyes was sent to spy on her, to find her source of food. So Two Eyes again took Three Eyes and the goat on a long walk. Then Two Eyes told Three Eyes that it was time to rest. So they sat in the long grass. Three Eyes, being tired, fell asleep with two of her eyes, but the third eye stayed awake, pretending to be asleep. Two Eyes had no idea Three Eyes was faking being asleep. Two Eyes called the goat and did her routine. The food came, she ate, and then she told the goat to take the food away. Three Eyes saw all of this. Once Two Eyes was finished, she came to wake up Three Eyes, and Three Eyes pretended to wake up from sleeping. They made it home in time for dinner. The family ate again, without Two Eyes, and then gave her scraps from the meal. Again, Two Eyes didn't touch them, and went to bed. While Two Eyes was away, Three Eyes told her mother that she knew why Two Eyes wasn't eating. Three Eyes told the mother of the magic table brought by the goat, that the food it brought was better than anything the family was eating. This made the mother furious. She went to wake Two Eyes and yell at her, asked who Two Eyes thought she was, that she could eat better food than the rest of them. The mother was so angry that she ran out of the house with a knife and stabbed the goat straight in the heart. The goat died instantly. Two Eyes saw this and ran into the field, and fell into the long grass and began to cry uncontrollably. Two Eyes, still crying, looked up, and to her surprise, the woman was standing there, looking at her. Once they made eye contact, the woman asked Two Eyes why she was crying. Two Eyes told her the whole story, that Three Eyes followed her and betrayed her, that her mother killed the goat. Now Two Eyes would go back to her days of starving and only eating scraps again. The woman listened to all of this, and once Two Eyes was finished, replied. The woman told Two Eyes that she needs to ask her sister for the dead goat. When she has the goat, she needs to take the innards of the goat and bury them into the ground in front of the house door. Two Eyes thanked her and made her way back home. Two Eyes made it home and turned to her sister and asked for the dead goat's innards. The sister laughed and told her that she could have them and that nobody wanted them. So Two Eyes took them and buried them into the ground at the front door. The next morning, when the family all woke up, they found at the door a giant tree. This was no ordinary tree. It had leaves of silver and apples of gold. There was nothing in the world that was as beautiful as the tree, and the value was priceless. None of the family members knew where this tree came from, except for Two Eyes. Two Eyes knew that this tree came from the goat she buried. The mother and the other two daughters wanted the apples. The mother told One Eye to fetch the apple. One Eye climbed the tree, but whenever she got close to an apple, the branch would swing away. One Eye wasn't able to get a single apple. They all moved out of reach as she went to grab them. Then the mother told Three Eyes that she should grab the apple. Again, Three Eyes climbed the tree. Again, every time she got close to the branch with an apple on it, the tree would swing away. Three Eyes had no better luck than One Eye. Tired, Three Eyes climbed down, having received no golden apples. Two Eyes then climbed the tree. As she got close to the branch, instead of swinging away, the branch came closer to her and dropped an apple into her outstretched hand. Again and again, Two Eyes would reach for a golden apple, and the tree would give it to her. Holding all her apples, Two Eyes climbed down the tree. The mother took all the apples and gave them to Three Eyes and One Eye. The mother didn't let Two Eyes keep any apples for herself. While the family were all standing around the tree, a knight was riding past on a horse. The family saw that the knight was a handsome man. The knight asked the family who this tree belonged to. Three Eyes and One Eye told the knight that the tree was theirs. The knight then told them that whoever had a single branch could have anything they wanted in the world. The knight then asked if he could have a branch. Three Eyes and One Eye tried to snap off a branch, but as with the apples, the branch would move out of reach, and they were unable to get any. The knight, disappointed, looked around, and then saw Two Eyes. The knight asked her if maybe she could reach the branch. Two Eyes replied that she could, because the tree belonged to her. Two Eyes climbed up the tree and snapped off a branch. The branch was full of silver leaves and a few apples. She gave it to the knight. The knight, grateful for the branch, turned to Two Eyes and asked what she would like in return. The truth came out from Two Eyes. Two Eyes told the knight that she was suffering. Her family only fed her scraps, and she was always sad, hungry, and thirsty. Two Eyes told the knight that if he could release her and take her with him, that she would be very happy. With that, the knight took Two Eyes on his horse, and the knight and Two Eyes rode away. The knight took Two Eyes to his father's home, who was the king. Once there, Two Eyes was given the best clothes. She had the best food and drink. Two Eyes and the knight fell deeply in love and eventually married each other. When Two Eyes' family saw her carried away, they were very happy, not for Two Eyes to have a better life, but because they thought the priceless tree now belonged to them. But the next day, when the family awoke, the tree was gone. Instead, in the castle, Two Eyes woke up to find the tree with her. The tree had followed her to her new home. Two Eyes lived a long, happy life. She never heard from her sisters or mother again, not until two poor women came to the castle to beg for money. Two Eyes saw them, and as she was reaching to give them some coins, she realized that they were her sisters. Two Eyes took her sisters in and promised to take good care of them. The sisters, filled with grief at how badly they treated Two Eyes in their youth, apologized for their actions. Two Eyes accepted their apology. She knew it was true, and together the three sisters lived happily to the end of their days.